Hello everyone, this is ponderonweather coming at you with another update. In this update, we're talking about an upcoming snowstorm as well as a rain event for the south as some Arctic air starts to press from the north by late next week. So before we do get started, if you do like weather related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. And I do ask you to share this video with your friends and family on social media. All right, so let's get started. Here is the overall snowfall map for season to date. I figured I'd show this because we're halfway. Today's January 16th, meteorological winter that started back on December the 1st. So we're halfway, and of course, a lot of years, snow can last well into March. Places like Colorado, that's your snowiest month of the season. So, but yeah, look at some of the lighter blues. That's where you mark some of the 40 plus inch snowfall totals we've seen so far. If you start getting into sort of the pink range, getting the 20s and 30s, and a lot of that is extended down into Texas and start getting into the blues. It's been sporadic, but yeah, parts of the south has already seen snow as well as parts of the southeast. And of course, here's the snowfall for the northeast, and we're going to be adding to those totals coming up this weekend as our next snowstorm is approaching. Right now, here's the latest surface map as of this morning. We've got that we've been kind of following this from the Midwest, where it had those extreme amount of winds. The winds are going to be still heavy, but they're going to be a lot less, severe as this is starting to push into the northeast. It's bringing a lot of rain this morning in places like Boston. This area low pressure is down to 996. There's not much cold air on the south side as these warmer water temperatures just to the south. So it's just an all rain event for the south. But as you kind of turn into, further inland, further north, that's where we're going to start seeing a little bit of a changeover. And as it pushes further north, we're starting to see an all snow and then heavier snow at times for upstate New York, getting into Vermont and New Hampshire. And this will start to push into Maine later on today. But yeah, like I mentioned, the gusty winds are still going to be out there. I mean, these are some wind gusts. Sustained right now are 30, 35 miles per hour in this area. And these are wind gusts later on this afternoon of 40 plus, even 50 mile per hour plus wind gust. So yeah, not as extreme as they dealt with in the Midwest by far, but still, yeah, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, you're definitely going to feel it as you're going to be dealing with those heavier rain bands and then snow bands just to the north. As we kind of extend the view later on today, you can kind of see this area low pressure starts to push inland. As it pushes further inland, it'll bring that snow further inland, getting into upstate Maine by then, kind of filtering out into Vermont and New Hampshire, but then kind of setting the stage for a heavier snow event for southeastern Canada, places like Montreal, getting into Quebec. And you can kind of see on the south side for the Ohio Valley, these are just kind of scattered snow showers. So if you missed out on some of the snow yesterday, you'll get a second chance of getting at least possibly an inch or two on the back side of this system as it kind of swings through later on today, getting into tomorrow. And as this continues to push into the northeast, basically out to sea on the backside, we'll have some backside precipitation kind of filtering in, and these snow amounts, the severity will start to decrease as we get into tomorrow morning. And yeah, you can see on the backside again, just kind of sporadic into the Ohio Valley, push it into Virginia, and then places like Pennsylvania. And we got another surge trying to push in on Monday as well. So again, these are just kind of backside precipitation, sporadic. I mean, just because it's all blue doesn't mean it's going to snow in all these areas. These are just kind of scattered snow showers, with half inch, in places of Indiana and Ohio, getting into Virginia, and then kind of filtering back into places like Pittsburgh. We'll start getting in some of the snow action again by Monday, with another inch possibly added to those areas. So these are just kind of sporadic snow showers on the backside, as that's kind of that split flow just kind of keeps running over the kind of the same areas on the backside with that wind, as we might get more snow by the time later on Tuesday. But yeah, some of the here's some of the snowfall totals with this particular system. Now these are additional snowfalls than what you've actually already experienced from this storm. But on the backside, yes, you could be picking up a 1 to 3 inch band from Illinois to Indiana to Ohio, getting into portions of Kentucky, getting into Virginia and West Virginia. You could still pick up a good 2 to 4 inches and those areas sporadically over the next several days. This is a snowfall map through late Tuesday night, so we're talking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then late Tuesday. So over the 4-day period, we're talking 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches, right? Not just all at once, but over a sporadic amount of time. And as this continues to push northeast, here's the snowfall totals. And obviously these heavier snowfall totals will be well inland with that kind of the main event, in upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, getting into southern Canada. This kind of the bullseye would be looking at 6 to 10 inches are not out of the question. You could be getting some isolated amounts of a foot plus is definitely not out of the question. But you can see on the backside, places like Pittsburgh, over a 4-day period, about 3 inches of snow on the backside of this system as these kind of sporadic snow showers and you can see along the coast, we are going to be picking up a little bit of a lake effect with this system, but not terribly too dynamic as these winds kind of traverse across. And but now we kind of take a look at what's actually going to happen starting midweek and kind of set the stage. I mean, I know the atmosphere kind of like more or less reloads itself as that main system kind of pushes off into the northeast by Tuesday, and by Wednesday all eyes are going to be down here by the south, by the Baja California, this deep developing trough that's going to be setting up over the desert Southwest of all places. And this is actually going to kind of just take advantage of the Gulf moisture as we extend into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can see out ahead of it, we got a kind of a warm surge that will kind of set the stage for a heavier rain event that I see coming for places like Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama, Mississippi, and Alabama as this pushes through, say, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we can also watch to the north as these other developing troughs push to the north. Here's kind of your blue line. So here's kind of like, say, your freezing or your snow line by then as colder air starts to push. I mean, it's well up in Canada still, but it starts to kind of creep in. And as we kind of extend the view through Friday, you can kind of see as the more colder air starts to press further south from Canada, start to approach into the northern tier of the U.S., that these troughs start to press as well, and we kind of get kind of a cross polar flow kind of set up to the north. And on the south, we've got that heavier rain event that's going to be happening for the deep south as that low is now basically over Texas, pulling in a lot of that Gulf moisture, and out ahead of it, we could be setting a stage for a heavier rain event for the deep south. But yeah, I mentioned on the backside of that system, by late next week, we finally see some Arctic air intruding into the U.S. I mean, these are some of these anomalies. Obviously, this is the coldest time of the year. So when you're seeing anomalies, 20, 25 degrees below average, that is some Arctic air entering the picture by the time next Saturday rolls around, and that will continue to press southward, of course, by next weekend. But here's the stage for the south. And so by that trough that we talked about down to the southwest, here's the precipitation water value index. Now, January is your second driest month for these areas. So to see precipitation water values in the 2-inch plus range is kind of unheard of for this time of year, especially in a La Nina, right? But with that deep trough is just going to kind of sit there and kind of meander and kind of take its time and kind of split over the system and kind of create what they call an overriding conditions. That is going to set the stage for just kind of a relentless flow of a surge from the Gulf, and then we'll have that trough kind of set up, and along that band we'll see that those heavier rains start to intrude into places like the Dallas-Fort Worth area and places just to the south and maybe to the east of Dallas, and especially as we get into Louisiana and Mississippi, I can see multi-inch totals. And here's some of your rainfall totals by the time Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rolls around, as that trough just kind of elongates over Texas, Louisiana, get into portions of Arkansas. You can see the graph here of 4, 5, 6 inches of rain is not out of the question. Probably a good 2 inches plus, and say the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but even higher amounts as you extend further south and, of course, east, as that trough just kind of sets the stage for a Wednesday, Thursday heavier rain event. And then colder air from the north starts pressing by later next week. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely leave your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.